You're going to need help at some point in your life, and there are better ways to get it, according to Robert Greene. For example, don't go appealing to someone's sense of mercy or gratitude. Appeal to their self-interest instead. This is the 13th law of power. History shows this. In the early 14th century, Castraceni rose from the rank of a common soldier to become the lord of the great city of Lucca in Italy. One of the most powerful families, the Poggios, had been instrumental in his climb, which actually succeeded through treachery and bloodshed. But after he got to power, the Poggios felt that he had forgotten them. His ambition outweighed any gratitude he felt or showed. So in 1325, while Castruccio was away fighting Lucca's main rival, Florence, the Poggios conspired with other noble families to get rid of this annoyance of a prince who is ambitious, power-crazy, and ungrateful. Their first step was to kill the governor that Castruccio left behind to rule the city. And boom, a riot broke out between the Poggio supporters and the Castruccio supporters. It was about to be a bloodbath. At some point, or do we say at the right time, just before they started killing each other, Stefano the Poggio, the oldest member of the family, who had not picked up arms, stepped in to calm both sides. He promised to speak to Castruccio when he got back, advocate for the family, persuade him to listen to their complaints. He was seen as a wise and well-respected man, so they listened to him, plus he was the eldest. When the news of this rebellion reached Castruccio, he hurried back to Lucca. But when he arrived, everywhere was calm and peaceful to his amazement. Stefano imagined that Castruccio would be grateful to him for the role he played in quelling this rebellion. So, he paid the prince a visit. He explained how he had brought peace and begged for Castruccio's mercy. Look man, these guys are young, impetuous, inexperienced. You have to forgive them. Plus, I made sure to calm everyone down so you have nothing to worry about. Plus, you know how our family has been supportive and generous to your ascension? Listening to our complaints would be helpful to further foster peace, that kind of stuff. Castruccio listened patiently, didn't seem angry or upset, told Stefano to be rest assured justice will prevail. Then he went further to invite him and his entire family over to the palace to talk things over. When they all got there, he imprisoned every one of them, and a few days later, he executed all of them, including Stefano. When he was told that it was a mistake to have executed an old friend, he said, "I did not execute an old friend, but a new enemy." Stefano made a terrible mistake of appealing to Castruccio's mercy. He had other options. He could have made promises of the future, of how his family's influence with other influential families in Rome could contribute meaningfully to his government. Hell, he could have brokered a marriage because they did that in those days. Instead, he brought up the past. Here's the thing about bringing up the past with people that you've helped. They don't like it at all. It exposes a weak point, shows indebtedness that they don't like to remember. 2, even when they do it, it'll be hard for them to help you again in the future because they will consider it as debt paid. 3, it's quite manipulative to try to get someone to do something for you because you've done something for them in the past. It's a type of entrapment. So instead, find what makes them tick. A win-win, appeal to their self-interest, and you create an ongoing relationship. And that's what you want. No one did this better than the Greeks. In 433 BC, the island of Corcyra and the Greek city-state of Corinth were on the brink of war. Both parties sent out ambassadors to Athens to try to win over the Athenians to their side. Well, because the stakes were high and whoever the Athenians on their side was sure to win. Corcyra spoke first. The ambassador began by admitting the fact that they had never done anything to help Athens before. In fact, they had been allies to the enemies of Athens. There were no ties of friendship or gratitude, nothing owed between Athens and Corcyra. Yet, the ambassador admitted that he had come out of fear and concern for Corcyra's safety. The only thing he could offer was an alliance of mutual interest going forward. Corcyra had a navy only surpassed in size and strength by that of Athens. An alliance would create a formidable force that will intimidate the rival state of Sparta. And that was it, pitch done. Unfortunately for Corcyra, that was all they had to offer. Now it was time for Corinth to speak. Their representative gave a brilliant, powerful, passionate speech in sharp contrast to the dry and colorless approach of the Corcyran. He talked about everything that Corinth had done for Athens in the past. He asked Harry to look to other Athens allies if they help a former enemy rather than a present and loyal friend. Perhaps those other allies would break ties with Athens, saying that they don't value alliances, friendship, and loyalty. He referred to the Hellenic law, which is the Greek law, and the need to repay Corinth for all their good deeds. And then he went further to list the good deeds and the importance of showing gratitude to a friend. The Athenians debated this issue in an assembly, and on the second round, they voted overwhelmingly to ally with Corcyra, the non-ally, and to drop Corinth, the present ally. This is the lesson. History remembers the Athenians nobly, but they were the realists of classical Greece. With them, all the rhetoric and emotional appeal in the world could not match a pragmatic argument, especially one that adds to their power. That whole chit-chat about how ungrateful Athens would look and how their allies might abandon them, it irritated them. On the other hand, Athens ruled by force. So if an ally misbehaved, they could forcefully drag them back into the fold without much effort. So that whole argument about valuing loyalty was also pretty lame. When you choose to talk about the past instead of the future, you're stacking the odds against yourself. A pragmatic person will always opt for the future. The art of asking for help is one that depends on your ability to understand the person you're dealing with and not confuse your needs with theirs. And yes, there are exceptions. Some people like to exercise charity and mercy. They find their balance in the amount of good that they can do. They get off of the feeling of superiority that comes from being able to help someone. So when you beg, they feel empowered. In that case, go ahead, appeal to their sense of mercy. However, the key is in understanding who you're dealing with and what makes them tick. Again, don't confuse someone else's needs with yours. Okay. That's about it, the 13th law of power. If you're subscribed, then I'll see you in the next law. If you're not subscribed, please hit subscribe so I will see you in the next law. And if you're feeling generous, please hit the like button as well. It helps other people find this video. Cheers. Okay.